because of the transformer attention mechanism underneath, which for it to properly work, the problem is a square of the number of tokens in the context. So if it's a million tokens.
What's up? What's up? We're going to build some stuff. Let me get some coffee. Okay. So we have a person on Upwork who is asking for a portfolio after I've given them a portfolio. This is the lovely part of Upwork. Sometimes people kind of view it the same way they view a kind of job interview. They're so traditional. They're so traditional in their head and their thinking to put this guy through a job interview when it's like clearly gonna do. Traditional job interviews, by the way, don't have success percentages as you would think. Traditional job interviews have about I think it was like a 30% success ratio. Let me look this up real quick. How successful are job interviews? They are a validity around 0.4, so 40%. Yeah, 40%. So getting into what we're doing, we're going to be looking at a message. I'm going to copy and paste it here so that I don't reveal any. Well, I'm going to reveal it anyway, so I might as well show you what's going on. So let me move this here, and we're going to move this streaming thing to this here. I got a message from Stephanie. She said, thanks. We need to share some links. You need to talk about this. So I get frustrated with these sorts of things because these last questions I clearly answered. And the first one, the things that I build sometimes are internal tools. And also, I'm not responsible for these builds after I leave them, because if these people don't get on maintenance retainers or support retainers, they can go and make changes that don't represent the work that I originally made. And so someone like this is just kind of, I get why they're asking it, but I've answered it already. There's a Loom here. There's information here. My website here. There's reviews on my website. It should be enough to have a conversation. We're at the point of having a conversation, but they're just trying to minimize risk so much that it almost just becomes annoying and ineffective. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Make, because I have the ability to do so. I'm going to go into their website, and I'm just going to pull information from their website. I'm going to see if I remember how to do this. I'm going to go here. No authentication. Save. Go ahead. Yes. So now we have the data, HTML. So we're going to go here, HTML, to text. We're going to do, where's the data? Data. Link. Oh, data, it's right in front of me. I'll run this. Awesome. So now we have all the text and a lot of it that doesn't matter. So first impression is, so what I want to do is I want to make these guys like a small MVP that shows them that I'm not dicking around, essentially. It shows them that I have the ability to do what they're looking for, but it's just, you got to understand that the way I see it, the question that they're asking is not, can you do the work? It's, can you do it for us in our specific use case, right? Because if you look in my video, I'm showing them examples of me doing exactly this. And it's images and stuff like that, but they want something to play with. But I don't want them to be in any of my clients' stuff, because they're gonna nitpick it and be like, oh, that's for this industry, or that's for that business, or that might not work for us. So I'm gonna build them something for them. Okay, I'm gonna build them, I don't know what yet. Maybe like a menu, maybe something like that, because they are a team that has a lot of services, which is kind of a bad thing for me. I think about it as, look at this, no niche, no specific services. They're just a marketing firm that has a bunch of stuff for a bunch of people. Again, not hating, but these are flaws. They could probably make more money if they were focusing in on one specific thing. With that being said, I'm going to try to get to like the heart of what they do here. and see if there is 1 to 5K a month. That's actually good information because that means that I can charge them that and they would feel like, oh, okay, cool. That makes sense for us. Proof of concept package, 5 to 10 hour initial engagement. So $2,000 for initial engagement from them. These guys are actually less further along than I would think, unless they're doing insane volume. I want to see their graphic design too, because I want to get a feel for their taste. Oh, it's not bad. It's not bad. It's just, what's the word? It's kind of like, this is kind of like replaceable. And it's kind of like middle of the pack. I guess that's how I would put it. It's middle of the pack. It's pretty safe, you know. Nothing like artsy. I like artsy stuff. It's, you know, quite templated, I'd say. Even like these are probably even based off of some templates on like Go High Level or ClickFunnels or something. It's very like stock photo heavy. So not my favorite. Again, unfortunately, like I'm in a weird spot where I could just say like not worth it, right? But you just don't know what they're looking for in terms of like what projects they need from me. And if they need things from me that, you know, maybe there's a way we can work together, is what I'm trying to say. But anyways, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna type this. We're gonna run a small analysis on 2 pages of a website. This is a potential client, and they want to see my ability to create web apps or MVPs. So I want to make them something quite simple and straightforward. I just wanted to have some ability to like click on buttons and save information and stuff like that. We're not going to have any sort of back end. We're just going to save everything in the browser. We're going to probably make this like a menu of things because it is a website ultimately. Maybe show some kind of calculation. But I'm also interested on some wild ideas you might have of some kind of things that we could build that they could play around with to get a sense of what I can do, but applied to them. So those are the instructions. Let me give you the data. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to go to the first run, not the first one, but this one, the successful one. Oh no, what's going on here? Okay, I'll go back to that one in a second. Output. Oh shit. There we go. I gotta sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Oh. Bless me. Okay. Output. All I did there, by the way, was just take their main page and their services page, if you didn't catch that, just so I can see everything that they're doing essentially. Good data to work with. Oh, it's already building it too. I think this is doing like a live MVP. Oh, well, that's not good. I don't want this. I don't know if I'll use this actually. This just seems very like Claude-like, so I don't want to give them something that's very Claude-like. I at least wanted to take it to I guess like an HTML file would not be that bad. This is not exactly what I'm thinking. I think that this is it's just too inline. You know what I mean? Like it's not enough of a thing to build. It's like, oh, I built that in one prompt, you know, very impressive, buddy. And then again, I'm just like, why am I spending so much time into this? If I look at the proposal, $65 an hour, less than 30 hours a week. I don't know, man. I got to be on Vercel anyways today. So let's just do this as a little bit of a challenge. We're not going to overthink it. It's like, just give me prompts. Don't build here. Also give some visual mocks. Oops. And I need a little bit more wow factor. I can't just have a basic calculator. Give me something that has like it's a play on the words of the captain. You know, make it nice big serif font that says the media captain. Add in the symbol of an anchor. Make it part like sales page with a hero section and a suite of things. Make some intense, you know, hover animations and things like that. Showed it through 2 different pricing tiers with 3 different sales points each. And then add a spot for one team photo and then some links in the footer. Again, only make this into a prompt except for the visual mocks. Don't make anything more than just a visual mock, visual representation, not a full-blown HTML, not a full-blown web app or anything like that. All right, so it's actually doing it anyways. Well, wait, is this a visual mock or is this a that's actually a pretty good visual mock. We're going to do something with this. We'll get started with this. What I'm doing here in the background is I'm creating a new repository, new captain, MVP. Okay, create repository. Okay, so I went into GitHub. I created a repository called Captain MVP. We are good to go for that. Now I'm going to go into Vercel and connect it. I just have a lot of stuff, so I don't want to share too much. Okay, so we're going to go here. My Git is this is Frank. We're going to reload this. Let me see if I can find it here. Yep, it's at the top of the list here. Captain MVP just now. I'm going to import that one. Just this, deploy. And then we're good to go there. And here we are here. Okay. Previously, I have set up a folder on my desktop for this stuff. So I'm going to open it up here in Cursor. We're going to get in there. Oops. Desktop, Cursor builds, and call it Captain. Select folder. We're going to do some preliminary stuff to build it out. And let's just, this is not a big deal if we need to make edits, but I want to make edits within Cursor. And then last but not least, we got this one. Am I saving it? I've never actually, well, let me just do this. I like the theme, the media captain, the harbor, the vessel. I really like that. It feels like consistent. And I like it when sites have like, when they really lean into their brand name, or they lean into kind of like a persona or something like that. But there's this. So let me let this run. I'm going to grab my hat, actually, probably some more water. How we doing? Oh, man. Human in the loop. Human in the loop. And again, like I wouldn't advise doing this for everybody. Um, but I just genuinely wanted to kind of challenge myself, see if I could do something and make this work. Now, the issue with this is that I'm just building a website. It's not a calculator. You know what I mean? It's just a website. And so I want to make it a bit more appy once we get it up and running. Those are going to be my only edits essentially, just making it more appy, more interaction, more capabilities like that, which actually leads me to thinking about API keys. Like, how would I be able to connect it to an LLM? Maybe I can have it so that they have the ability to put in their API key. I've been seeing that. I've been seeing apps that give people the ability to put in their own API key, and I know there's a security risk because you're creating like a message to send their API key to the LLM, and if you don't secure that, it's a problem. But yeah, I'm actually curious how you would build that because in your, I think it's server side, if I'm getting my terms correct here, you would have an edge function that has your API key, and you basically call a proxy that would call that edge function, and then it does the stuff and then returns it to the front end. But if you're doing it in another person's, how do you set up an edge function on their browser or their device? How does that happen? And I know it can happen because there's so many apps out there built on that sort of thing. So we're gonna talk about it here in a second. Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? Okay, so is this thing an HTML file? I think it's an HTML file. I think that's what we're building here. Let me see. Oh yeah, it is an HTML file. Okay. Oh, that's super cool. I feel like they would love this shit, man. But again, I want a little bit more. Hmm. This is so cool. It's cool that you can just do this stuff in like literally what, 2 prompts or something like that. So I wanna make some changes, but I want to make this a live URL. And I know that's, again, we're overbuilding for a client that has not shown a lot of potential. But again, this is content, so we're making content here. Okay. So great start, but we are going to move this from just an HTML file to an actual live URL. So make the necessary changes to connect this to GitHub and Vercel. I have the account set up. We're just going to be moving this code and pushing it into that when we're ready. You know what's interesting? Here's what I'm going to try, actually. Here's what I'm going to try. Because I don't want to mess with LLMs right now, but I want them to feel the feeling of like an LLM. I'm going to go through, I'm going to look at their services. I'm essentially going to create a small knowledge base based on everything that they say in their own words. And then we're going to create that as like the LLM's knowledge base, so that we can create some kind of little chat bot to have them interact with it. And then they're going to see, like, oh God, like this is essentially the same function. It's not going to be at all, but again, as a demo tool, like it's going to be really cool. And again, overbuilding like crazy, but we're just going to do it for, oh my God, this is a lot of pages. So let's go back to make. Sorry for closing you down. Check on sign in here. This is where things get moving, man. When I have like 6 tabs across 4 screens, and or six tabs across 2 screens and 3 freaking Google Chrome's open, we're moving. Okay. So we're gonna do, I don't know. We're gonna do the top 3, I guess. Oops. 1, 2, 3. You see why I don't like this? Because it's like you don't get a sense of what their specialty is. They're just not making as much money as they could be making. 4, we're gonna go for all of it. It's actually not bad. And 5. How's cursor doing? Go back here. We're gonna go 6. I'm gonna go 7. Did I do it? I totally forgot if I did it or not. Web design, e-commerce, and hosting. It makes me laugh. It's just like, it's very like young energy of like, oh, you want that? I'll do it. Oh, you want that? I'll do it. Oh, you want that? I'll do it. That's probably how they ended up with all these suite of services. Master of none. Would I tell this to their face? I don't know, man. Some people just want to be at a certain level because they don't like the growth that it takes to get to the next level. They can't let go of certain things. And that's not for me to solve. It's just, it is what it is. Okay, so we have all their services in one spot now. And basically, we're going to create a little LLM. I'll do it in a note file, actually. And we're going to go to here. Let me check on Claude. Get branch. We're going to go to the notes. And we're going to go here. Here. And now here, we're going to save changes. Save anyways. So we're going to go for the last. Hold on, I can't see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 runs. Probably from here up. So we're going to go 1. 2. 3. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then one more little scroll and we're good. Ten. This should be SEO. Is that right? Yeah, it is. Perfect. Cool. Okay. So, to review, we are building a small MVP for this company, the Media Captain, that is a marketing firm that has far too many services, but that is what they are. They seem to be adding MVPs and like UX design and these sorts of things. And they're looking for someone like myself to build it out. So rather than show them some generic stuff that I built for other companies, because it's just not going to apply to them, I want to build them something like this. And again, I wouldn't do this for anybody that's going to be less than a couple thousand, probably like $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 worth of money. But just because I wanted something to do this morning and film some content, we're doing it. Essentially, the process is I'm going to their website and I'm seeing what I could build. And it's essentially just going to be a menu with a little bit of calculation and basically a small custom built LLM. What I mean by that custom built LLM is I'm not actually talking into Claude. I'm not actually looking into anything like that. I'm basically looking into their Yeah, I'm curious. I'm looking into their suite of services and I'm creating a small LLM base or knowledge base to basically have like a menu. And then I'm going to see if I can create like a small intelligent chatbot. I don't know if I'll be able to create it, but we're going to try something. So I'm going to save this as a markdown file. I'm going to do captain KB, which is knowledge base. We'll save it there. Cool. Here. Did that show up in cursor? I'm not too sure. Yes. Okay. Okay. I have the repo built. What do you need? Forgot the process from here to there. I know I need it from. Okay, let me get that repo. Copy, paste. Is it possible to create a self-contained chatbot? I want to download information from a website and then have a small chat that is contained only to information in that. But I don't want to have an API key in this build, and I don't want to create a Supabase to create an edge function. Is there a way either to somehow create an edge function within a project so that I can safely put in an API key, or is there a way just to write the instructions for a basic chatbot on a site without an API at all? Well, that's true, huh? I forgot that you could do a edge function within Vercel. Yeah, okay, I'll do that. It's already there. Let's see if we have Vercel working. Deploy. Oops. Did something wrong here. Oh no. All right, there we go. Cool. So it is deployed. I like it. Now we're going to make some edits. And again, I'm only having 50 minutes here, probably 40 minutes here. So let's make it fast. This is how I usually do things. I'm going to just turn on Whisperflow and walk through. Remove the options in the header other than the start sailing button. Keep the gold button in the hero section, but remove the other. Add a line break after sibling owned before Columbus built. In the pricing section, change the text within the gold button to say gold get started. In the footer, remove everything except the copyright. So that's a very simple pass right now. And then we're going to move into more fundamental pass right now. The reason why I'm running a local is because we'd have to redeploy every time to see the changes here. I don't want to have to do that. So we're doing this. I wonder if it's actually set up to redeploy on its own. I think it might be set up to run local. This is fun because I've never run like a basic HTML like this. HTML I build typically within Claude or something like easier. I feel like using Cursor to do this is like using a jackhammer to dig, a 2x2 hole because you have all these packages and stuff. But it's fun looking at like the basic, bare minimums. We have the host. Let's see. Host is not displaying. Let's see. Put in that console error. This is what showed. I got the console error. I put it in there. We're going to check out what's going on. I'm going to let this go. We're going to put this. This is my HTML file. And then this is that. This is, I need to close this for now, just to remove some RAM back. Get some RAM back. Yes, allow. Try it one more time. And there we are. Cool. Okay, all the changes that I wanted. So what I would do is make this a bit more interesting. I want to make this a bit more interesting by adding in some kind of thing that you can manipulate, right? Not just this button or anything like that. I want this button to be like a transition, okay? So let's do something creative here. In the hero section, change the button that says schedule a free strategy session to see your ROI. Once a user clicks on that, the information that is centered now will slowly slide left, and on the right, a calculator will hover open or will fade in. That calculator will have some basic stats based on the information that is in the captainkb.mv file to give the user a sense of ROI. Okay, then we're going to have a concurrent agent. Change the top right button that says start sailing to talk to the captain. It's going to move the user to a second page where on the left-hand side, they'll see a caricature icon of a captain or a ship. And on the right-hand side, they'll have a small chat window based on the content in the captainkb.md, and also utilizing an API key that I will be applying into Vercel Edge function. We're going to push this thing. we're going to push this thing to build super fast and super crazy. This is not like, I usually like to kind of take its time, but I don't want to blow up my computer. But again, this is far too much effort for someone that I'm probably not going to work with. It's just the way these things work out, man. Okay. Let them cook. Let them cook. We're going to make some edits because I'm not liking the way these things are looking or functioning. And again, this is where you have to think about the functionality. So instead of going to a separate page, we're going to make this a modal that pops up on the front page. Remove the left-hand side completely. Only show the chat window with the ability to close it. Okay, I'm gonna go here. Overall, right idea, but we want to simplify a lot of the things. Remove the text underneath chart your course. Remove the CTA button and make the animation upon open and close smoother and slower. All right, so we're really pushing this thing. We're seeing what it can do here.
Review the fix. That wasn't.
Okay. So the final text on the gold CTA should just be "See your ROI" in title case. Again, make the animation slower and smoother. What the hell? The button has a strange white overlay. Remove that. The final text should only be "Talk to the captain" in title case. Then make the chatbot window wider and taller. Match the same dark color of the background. Have less text. Have one single clickable starting prompt saying, "What are your services?" Okie dokie. Let's see. Oh my god, this thing is so retarded. Oh, there he is. It's right there, but I'm in the middle of an edit. There we go. I like that welcome message instead, actually. Actually, let's go. Change back to the original welcome message and remove the button. All other changes are good. Okay, so I'm starting to get bored with this. I think it's at a point now where you would be like, okay, this is at least something. It doesn't have to be much more amazing than this. I think that they are asking for too much if they're asking for more of this stuff. But that being said, we're going to make some final little things. Let's see, where is this? We're going to go, where was the about? This, open image in new tab, save image, save that here. We're going to put that in the, boom, boom, boom. Place this image in the one image slot. Cool, cool, cool. This is done. This is done. Cool, cool, cool. And let's see, what do we have? I need that to be less jolty. I need the animation to just be less sudden. What can we do to make the transition either smoother or appear to be simplified or some way? Let me tell this thing to give me ideas first. Here's this, and then I should have the other one here, from here, hide here. We're going to create an edge function. Where are my edge functions? Environment variables. Is this the same as the edge function? Key value. Yeah, this is their version of an edge function, essentially. I haven't done this in Vercel before. So I think that's true. So we're going to, go here. We're going to go here. We're going to go to Claude Console. Get a quick API key to test it out. API keys. Create key. On the sim. Copy key. We're going to go to Vercel. We're going to go to Anthropic key. Copy this. Save. Okay, we'll redeploy here in a second. Close this. Change photo. Change. Open AI key to Anthropic PI. I think that's what I put. What did I put? No, Anthropic key. Anthropic key. We're moving. We're moving. All right. Team photo should be in. Button change should be in. Same ID, Johnson execution. Don't reflow the grid. Keep it line center to get its right side panel. Yeah, I think I like option 2. Option 2. Let's try it. Because it's just going to keep going in the same direction if I just tell it to make it smoother. It's just going to be like, well, I can tune this and tune this and tune this. We're doing this here. We're going to redeploy here. Redeploy. Deployment created. Move deployment. We're going to go here. Okay. Oh, I haven't pushed the changes, so it's going to be not working. Okay. Should be done. And pretty soon here, we're going to push the changes. And we'll be in a better spot. Okay, so back to this. 10 more minutes and we're done. Now we're going to see what it did here. That's fine, but like, I need the layering to be there. Instead of from the right hand, let's have it just go from top down. Make sure the layer on the Z level brings it to the front. When you do bring it to the front, also hide that hero section. Or just make the text disappear. Make sure that the spacing does not move the entire content up and allow for the calculator to have its visual space. Let's see if it understands that. It's a little non-technical. Yeah, look at this. This is horrible, man. I don't like people with non-focused. What's their YouTube channel look like? 218 videos. I don't think they've. Boom, boom, boom. How we doing? We doing it. I haven't even tested the chatbot. This might be a complete and utter failure, but again, I just want it to be what do you sell? Yeah, I haven't deployed it properly, so we'll do that later. Okay. Close. Oops. Close. There is still a left moving animation for the text that should probably be removed. Just have a fade out. Make the overall transition slower, and then move up the calculator. It seems to be cut off on the bottom. Getting close. Getting close, getting close, getting close. It's so close, but it's just like transitioning so bad. Upon clicking the See Your ROI button, the text should immediately disappear. Right now, there's a bit of a glitch where you see it for a second before it fades away. And then the calculator needs to move up in the space that it is. It continues to be cut off at the bottom with too much margin at the top. This is the type of debugging hell that you can get into. And one more thing. For the bottom buttons, the get started buttons on whichever pricing level have a small modal pop up that collects a phone number. And then whatever the entry is, just give them a check mark when they hit done and say, we will contact you. Again, just to show a little bit of, snazzy stuff. This calculator needs to be like the thing that works. If not, we're screwed. Ugh, getting better, getting better. Good on the text removal. Now we're having an issue where it's adding scroll bars. We don't need to do that. Make sure you pre-establish the viewport to be big enough for that calculator to work without any sort of scrolling action. Fix one thing and another thing pops up, man. It's just how it goes. We good here, good here. Let me reload this. Boom, boom, boom. Beautiful. Beautiful. I get annoyed that they don't even know what they're asking for, man. It's like, why are you asking for all these different questions and features if you probably don't even know how to build these yourselves? You know, it's just like, it's silly, but it's whatever. I'll just give them the URL, tell them, try this out. If you want to talk, let's talk. If not, don't. Ooh, we did it, boys. Cool. Awesome job. Now, after closing the calculator itself should close a lot quicker so that there's not as much overlap. There we go. There we go. Let me go back to that chat real quick. That just annoys me. Center the text. Center all the text. The header, the title, and the phone number. Yeah. Okay, we're doing good. Yeah, good enough. Good enough. Cousins are funny. Oh my gosh, that's a lot bigger of an ask than I thought it would be. Oh man, I think it. Well, I don't like the look of this, but to be honest with you, what the hell? Okay. Small little revert, no big deal. And then we're gonna make sure that it does this. The reason why it was a bigger hole is because of that dumb shit. So. Awesome. Okay, boys, we are good to go. Last thing is going to be pushing all this stuff. Edits. Sync changes. Please don't give me issues here. Please don't give me issues here. And we're good. And so now we're going to, can I redeploy from here? I'm pretty sure it should redeploy here in a second. Okay, this looks good just now. And then we have this. Let's see, how do I redeploy from here? Redeploy. Oh yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to get up to date here. Oh, what the hell? How do I change my how do I change my thing back to just a basic? How do I change my GitHub Vercel URL back to something very simplified. At most, I just want to have the project title and then main and then .app. Where's domains production? Okay, cool. Small thing, I guess. Hopefully this is not a thing. I think it's doing the model that without me choosing it. Yeah, it's choosing the wrong model, I believe. Yes, exactly. So, okay. Model. Some changes. Committing. Once again, this should be now. Just now. And this should be good. Hello. How much are you? Yeah, it's awesome. Again, it's not supposed to be magical. It's just supposed to do things. So let's look at everything once again, guys. I got a message on Upwork from a company that said, can you show us, links and stuff like this, da, 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 da. And I'm like, I don't want to. I just don't want to. Secondly, I went onto their website and I'm like, this is not that great. And I think it could be done better. And I think you could ramp this up. So I got a bunch of information from their site, from their services and stuff like that, their basic pricing and just a couple things. I want this a prompt to whip up this, which is a new landing page. Very simplified, not everything there, but you have enough personalization so you can tell that I built out. And then you have like 3 types of functionality just to showcase what I can do. One is going to be this ROI calculator to just show some basic stuff. The numbers don't have to be right, but you can just see some general kind of functionality there, which is cool. You close this and you go back to that. You see all these different things here, no clickability, just some nice hovers. This is pretty cool here. And then you have this, which is going to collect a phone number. Whether you type in something real or not, you just hit done, and then it'll contact you. On the top right-hand side, you say talk to the captain, and then you have a conversation here. One last thing, I want to make sure that I have the ability to do chat clear or something like that. Yeah, whatever. We'll just keep it consistent. That's totally fine. And then that's it. So I'm going to take this app and I'm going to write to them something. I'm going to say, hi, Stephanie. I don't know. I don't want to be defensive, but I want to just say like why I'm not sending them something that has like these other things. It's like, I'm just going to say that a lot of my projects required non-disclosure. A A lot of my projects require non-disclosure. Or are completely internal tools. That being said, I made you your own mini app to show some basic level, to show some functions I can build. Boom. My skill set allows me to build all the technical items your post has outlined and more. Happy to hop on a call this week to go over how we'd work together. Thank you, Frank. Hi, Stephanie. A lot of my projects require non-disclosure or completely internal tools. That being said, I made you your own mini app to show some functionality I can build. My skill set allows me to build on all technical items your post has outlined and more. Develop. Happy to hop on a call this week to go over how we'd work together. Thank you, Frank. I think that's pretty freaking G. I think that's pretty freaking awesome to just be like, check out this URL. I made you something. You know what I mean? It's a little bit of a thing. You click around, you talk to the captain, you have the LLM. This part is sick. What's up? Ahoy. This part is sick, bro. This is sick. Not gonna lie, I crushed it on this one. So, yup. Yeah, we'll see. If they don't like that, they are dumb, and I don't want to work with them. But I have to think that they're going to be at least a little impressed. So, basic workflow one more time. I basically got the information from their website. I came over to Claude to get a prompt and an initial mock-up. I didn't do too much changing there. I pasted this image into Cursor. I told Cursor, I don't want this to be just an HTML file. I want this to be specifically able to go onto GitHub and then Vercel. We deployed a very basic GitHub and a very basic Vercel. And then we made some basic changes for the look, the functionality, to add like a little bit more pizzazz to show people what I can do. And then we made it live, and here we are. So not the most complicated build, not the most difficult thing to do. But for a lot of people, showcasing just that will give them enough of a wow factor to be happy enough to work with me. So that being said, that was done in 1 hour and 15 minutes. That is the stream time here. And if you gave me, a lot more, I'd be able to do a lot more. But this is a showcase of how quick you can get something up and running. And I wouldn't recommend this for every proposal, but if you did have the opportunity for a 10K proposal, I'd take 1 hour to build something like that, especially now that I've gone through it once. Now that I know, kind of the prompts and like the hiccups that I'm going to do, I feel pretty comfortable doing these things on a very basic level and shipping them out. And this is the exact type of stuff that is going to get people to interact with something instead of just you trying to, kind of persuade them. It's a lot more persuasive to have them play with a working car to believe that you're a good mechanic rather than, to get them in the driver's seat of a working car to believe that you're a good mechanic rather than just talking about it. So that's what I did. Okay. Any questions, any comments, leave them down below. Hopefully you had some fun. I did. This was a cool thing that I just discovered I could do. And I'll be exploring this a little bit more further. Peace.